Now, I suggest downloading the app. Remember that loaded 2003 NBA draft? LeBron was the top pick and has become a legend, a 4-time MVP, 17-time All-Star, 4-time NBA champion. D. Wade went 5th overall to the Heat and got his first title 6 years before LeBron's first. Wade finished his career as a 3-time champ and 13-time All-Star. Chris Bosh went 1 pick ahead of Wade, 4th to Toronto. He joined with LeBron and Wade in Miami and won a pair of titles. He was also an 11-time All-Star. And Carmelo Anthony went 3rd overall to Denver. Melo is a 10-time All-Star but has never reached an NBA Finals. He spoke on the 2003 draft. Here's Melo on the Pistons draft.
Changed the course of my career, man.
Right?
Insert him. Take away Tayshaun.
It was, I'm gonna tell you what, man, like to this day, I still think about that.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah. Cause I'm like, they promised me. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we taking you. We taking you.
Did they?
I'm talking all the way up to draft day. You understand? We taking you. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to Detroit. I get Chauncey there.
Rip.
Johnny John, man, all these guys is there. She came in the middle of the year. I mean, she got traded.
Oh, that's right.
And that's what really put them over the top. But they was like, yo, you gonna share time with Tayshaun? I'm like, cool. Like, I ain't, I'm gonna come and do my thing, but I don't know how long I'm gonna share time with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just come in and do my thing. And then they won it. And I'm like, oh, my luck. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, if I'm there, I think they win another one.
I think so too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't jump out there so we 3-peat football. I think we go back to back if I'm there.
Stephen A., let me ask you this. Would we look at Melo like LeBron and D. Wade if he was drafted by Detroit?
Not LeBron, but D. Wade. And let me explain what I mean. First of all, this subject on a personal level is very, very sad for me. And the reason why it's sad for me is because I love myself some Joe Dumars. I think that Joe Dumars was an elite executive in the NBA. They went to like 6 or 7 straight Eastern Conference Finals appearances, back-to-back NBA Finals, won a championship, lost the second one with Larry Brown coaching them in Game 7, won the first one with Larry Brown. And of all the great, phenomenal things that Joe Dumars has done and he has achieved as an executive, the one stain on his career is that he passed on Carmelo Anthony and drafted Darko Milicic. Because everybody knows how big time Melo, my brother, was coming out of Syracuse. National champion, came into the NBA, did his thing. Carmelo Anthony averaged 21 a game in the 2003-2004 season as a rookie. Averaged 21 a game, okay? This is what he brought to the table. He was an offensive machine. And the culture that existed in Detroit, the way they played together, the leadership that both Chauncey and Big Ben Wallace and Tayshaun and Rip Hamilton and even Rasheed Wallace, all of them, it was phenomenal. And there's no doubt in my mind they would have gone back-to-back, Max. And here's where I say not LeBron, but D. Wade. No, Melo probably wouldn't have went to 10 NBA Finals. He probably wouldn't have 4 championships, but he would have at least had 2, if not more. And here's the reason why, guys. If Melo, in my opinion, had gone to Detroit and won a championship, he would have tasted what that glory was like and never compromised it in any way. He would have been addicted to it, and that would have been his priority. So come 2007, because I reported this at the time, Max, the big three, well, not at the time, in 2010 I reported it, that in 2007, LeBron and D. Wade already knew they wanted to play together. Melo was their boy. As much as they love Chris Bosh, Melo was their boy. That was supposed to be the trio that played in South Beach. It was never supposed to be Bosh. I know I broke the damn story. It was supposed to be Melo, Wade, and LeBron. It wasn't supposed to be Bosh, D. Wade, and LeBron. What happened was in 2007, when they were all free to get contract extensions, they had an opt-out after year 3. Denver came to Melo and said beforehand, we ain't giving you no opt-out. We got this money on the table, but it's for 5 years with no out. And Melo, being a Baltimore native, you know, knowing what it's like to be in the streets, to be poor, to struggle with it, he's like, I wasn't passing up that money. This is guaranteed. Anything could happen. The first thing I need to do is get the bag. And as a result, he didn't bet on himself like they did. He took the money. And because he took the money, he ended up being stuck in Denver, wasn't able to be a free agent to pair with LeBron and D-Wade. That was Bosh instead, which is why his next best option was to insist on getting himself out of Denver, which landed him with the New York Knicks. That's what I'm giving you facts here. I reported all of this. That's what happened.
I remember.
And it's a damn shame because if Melo had gone to Detroit, Max, he'd have won the title in Detroit because they definitely would have repeated with him. Then down the line, he probably would have made the decision, smelling more championships to pair with LeBron and D-Wade, and would have won at least 2 more, and he'd have had 3 chips.
Yeah, none of us can
maybe
go through,
more.
I mean, none of us go through life without thinking, what if? Of course, no one lives an optimal life. It's not possible. Right. And probably my guess is if Melo stayed to his stuck to his guns, probably Denver folds, but maybe not. And he wanted the money. I get it. I'm not sure they go back-to-back with Melo. Let me tell you why. And I don't know if he ever gets mentioned, like, is thought of with D-Wade historically. Let me tell you why. Carmelo Anthony left college. And by the way, Stephen A., I took Syracuse before almost anyone took them that year to win the title. I was hosting Around the Horn. I was the original host of Around the Horn, as you know. And I was watching Melo play at Syracuse, and everyone was talking about T.J. Ford and this one and that one. I'm like, Carmelo's the best college player in the country. Syracuse is going to win the title. And sure enough, they did. He left Syracuse as a polished offensive player, a more polished offensive player than Wade or LeBron. But he's never been a two-way player. Now, consider, the Detroit Pistons won that championship because they were, and I mean this, in my lifetime, they were the greatest defensive team in any sport in my lifetime, if not in the history of American team sports. I tip my cap to those early 80s Cardinals teams in baseball and some of those defenses out of Baltimore, the turn of this century, Max, with Ray Lewis. But
could you pause for 1 second?
Yeah.
Just stop right there before you go on.
Yeah.
Are you saying that defense was better than Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen pressing the ball 94 feet?
Yeah, I would say so. And they had less to worry about offensively. Now, you make a very good point there. The Bulls had arguably the 3 best defenders at their position of all time in their primes, basically, in Jordan,
and
Pippen,
big bodies.
and Rodman.
I'm like, watch
they were great. That's actually a very good answer to the Pistons.
And what about the bad boy Pistons?
Here's the difference. That Pistons team was routinely, like my dad talked about the Knicks teams when I was a kid of Walt Frazier and them holding teams to under 90 points on the regular. That Pistons team, as you recall, held teams to under 70 points all the time. You saw at the end of the game, teams with 67 points, good offensive teams. Well, pace of play, whatever. No, it's the weakest link on defense was Rip Hamilton, who gave effort. But these other guys meant it. So they win with Carmelo, say as like a 6th-man scorer the first year, maybe, something like that. Are we sure that Carmelo gets them past Miami? Remember, they were trailing Miami 3-2. They came back on them to get to the finals, narrowly lost to the Spurs. It's hard to say that they definitely win.
Let's ask someone else.
Because Carmelo was not a two-way player. But, guys, even if they did win, he wouldn't have been the best player on the team. When Dwayne Wade won, before LeBron was there, he was the best player on his team. He put up a Jordan-like finals performance. That's what it would have taken from Carmelo to be on that Wade-LeBron level.
But let's
Kirk, talk to me. You were part of that 03 draft class.
Yeah, I was, Molly. One of the best draft classes in NBA history, but I'm not here to boast and brag, okay? I'm going to talk about Carmelo today. But when we talk about LeBron James, he's already in another atmosphere, right? We talking about all-time greats. And I'm not here to disrespect Dwayne Wade because I believe he's a top 5 shooting guard of all time. But if the Detroit Pistons had drafted Carmelo Anthony, it would have shaken up a lot of things, and it would have changed history throughout the Eastern Conference, and it would have affected LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, in my opinion. When you look at Carmelo going to the Detroit Pistons, so what? he's not known as a defensive player. He's known as a certified bucket getter, a guy that could lead the league in scoring in his sleep, right? One of the most prolific scorers to ever play the game. You put him on that Detroit Pistons team, they still win that championship in 2004 because you got Big Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace to cover up. You have a dog like Lindsey Hunter coming in off the bench. They had enough to cover up for rookie mistakes, but he was going to provide that spark and give them extra points. Now, with that being said, here's the thing why I feel like Detroit would have won more and Melo would have gained more for being a Detroit Piston, because just think, that Detroit team had a run from about 2003 all the way up to like 2009, 2010, when they finally decided to break up. If you have a superstar like Carmelo Anthony on your team, what's going to happen throughout that process? Well, one, Chauncey Billups, Rasheed Wallace, they're going to take him under their wing, teach him how to be a professional, teach him how to be a leader. Now they're going to hand the keys over to Carmelo Anthony. Now Detroit is still eye candy to other free agents to come and play in Detroit, because you got Melo over there who possibly could already have 2 rings under his belt, who has a different maturity level, and like Stephen A was saying, already tasted the blood of winning championships, so he knew what it take. And that probably would have put a stop to even LeBron making it to his first finals when he went through Detroit. If Detroit would have had Carmelo, then I don't know if LeBron take that Cleveland Cavaliers past Detroit Pistons to the finals that year. I'm just saying. So I think that Melo legacy would have been a lot different, and we could have put it in the same conversation with Dwayne Wade and Detroit Pistons.